What's up, guys? That Really Gross Guy here. We are back with another Buy Bargain or Bust episode. Checking out another survivor like game. And this one is unique enough. We have the ability to set up a deck, which is going to be where we pull our skills and upgrades from. You earn currency in the game. You earn these different pieces of equipment for your ships in the game, and that allows you to, kind of go through. And every time you get your skill level up or whatever, you can actually have it roll from your deck, so you're not getting a bunch of that garbage equipment that you're not a big fan of. So I've played a little bit of this so far, and I've built a little bit of a deck out for myself. Definitely room for improvement, but anyways, you're jumping on in, and instead of being, a vampire or a little dwarf like you see in Vampire Survivors or Deep Rock Galactic, you're a spaceship, and there is almost a Zerg-like extraterrestrial monster presence in outer space, I guess. So, anyways, this is one of the ships that I managed to grind and acquire. It is like a battleship style, almost like aircraft carrier style ship. It has the ability to push out these drones, which you can do on other ships, but this ship specifically has like 4 drones as its default skill. Every ship basically has some sort of default skill with it, but there's the uniqueness to this too. Also has to do with selecting your equipment and actually placing it, having some kind of build. So you can see here that I have, a front end of my ship. Sorry, if we were talking like boats or whatever, it'd be like what your starboard side or whatever. I don't know any of that. I don't sail. Anyways, so I have the ability to place my weapons and whatnot in location. So I have the ballistic missiles I put off to my left-hand side, and those will actually fire off to my left-hand side. Obviously, certain things that track enemies will track enemies, but if you put it on the left-hand side, it's going to be, its focus is going to be on the left-hand side. If you watch closely where my rocket barrages and all that stuff go, you can see that they'll actually go, to the left of my ship, to the right of my ship, like you just saw. You have that other barrage, which also goes off to the left-hand side, but it's a little bit more randomized. So, yeah, that one there. So, you can actually strategically put your turrets and your missiles and all sorts of stuff in certain spots. I'm a big fan of these drones. They kind of act on their own, and they go out and they will shoot at enemies that get too close. You have I didn't do it in this specific episode or this specific run, but there's a drone that goes out and will actually quickly gather up some of the experience that's on the map, so that's cool. And yeah, obviously you get like ballistic turrets that shoots, you can kind of see it. My drones fire their own little ballistic turrets, but I can put some on my ship. But yeah, so there we go. Some auto turrets. There's like a rail cannon too that does a ton of piercing like damage or whatever. It pierces through a bunch of enemies and does all its, all that stuff. You got the tractor beam, which is basically your pickup radius. Yeah, if you look closely, you can see to the left of my ship and to the right of my ship are 2 very large, like orangish or amberish circles, and that's going to be the potential radius of where my missiles reach out to. So there's that. When I start equipping some of the turrets and whatnot, it'll actually show like a cone in front of my ship, or some kind of radius to actually tell me that my turrets are gonna fire in that little radius. So it's very cool. So it does, of course, have some characteristics like a lot of these other survivor-like games have, but the fact that you can build a deck so you're not getting, you know, the equipment you don't care about, the placement of your turrets and your missiles and all sorts of stuff is strategic. I'm thoroughly enjoying this. It's one of my more I don't know. It's one of my favorite survivor likes that I've played thus far. And even though it's not as maybe AAA budget, you know, most of the survival likes are not, you know, they're indie games. This feels, I don't know, very well thought out. I'm not gonna lie, I have not gotten far enough in the game to really know what the, you know, where the challenge really lies, like after 20-30 minutes. I mean, after all, it is an indie game. Just like some of the other survivor likes, it is an indie, you know, indie game, whether it's a single developer or just a couple developers. You know, it's not AAA. Doesn't have a AAA budget, but it is one of the more enjoyable survivor likes that I've played thus far. We've reached that 5 minutes point, so that's where you can see a big bad show up on the map and start, you know, coming after me. The enemies have definitely gotten stronger. It shows that the swarms are adapting, which means they're getting stronger. But yeah, it's fun. I don't know. You end up with similar concepts where, you know, you get a mini boss. There was that big circle of like jellyfish-looking guys that started to I don't know, encroach on you from the outside of the map. There we go. We have the absorbent experience orb after you defeat like a boss like that. Look at all that. Just getting experience like crazy. Getting my fighter jets out there to take down enemies. You can see that I have all sorts of drones at this point. I have like a Tesla cannon, which like freezes enemies or slows them down. Man, it's super cool. Now granted, like I said, this is a slower mortar battleship inspired build, where my support is kind of my drones and all that stuff, kind of helping keep me alive. But why not? Let's take a look and see what a slimmer, more agile ship would be like in combat. All right, so we're at a similar point in the actual run, except this time we're running a slim, more agile battle style ship. It's definitely faster. You do have the ability to boost around if you would like. I have a shield, which prevents me from 3 incoming, you know, pieces of damage. You can see directly ahead of me. I have my turret on the front, so I have like a cone-like area of attack that I can actually use my my turret to shoot at. A special ability that I picked up and added to my deck is the tractor beam that allows me to freeze enemies in like a stasis, which number one keeps them from moving in closer and damaging me, and allows me, as long as I have turrets or whatever that can focus on them, I can take those guys out. So it's a really good survivability option that I put on my build, and you can see it's helping me out quite a bit. The environment, obviously, as you can see here, can be a problem. Like I said, things get more tough as they go, but the environment can be a problem. These asteroids can damage you, but they also can damage the enemy. Let's more rockets. I can expand my Yeah. Anyways, so yeah, a slim build, or a slim build. An agile ship is a good way to go if that's your style. Oh, you can see my rockets shooting out in front of me. There's a circle, kind of my area effect for those that bombard missiles. But anyways, very cool, fun little game. It is $5. This is a $5 game. Definitely playing the very low cost of entry like Vampire Survivors did. And I don't think it's seen anywhere near as much success. But honestly, I enjoy it a lot, and I do think it deserves a lot more success than it has already, I don't know, mustered up. But yeah, I'm having a blast. I will show you guys a little bit more what the enemies have in store for me here momentarily, but $5 is definitely a buy. If it goes on sale, the more, all the better. But for $5, it's a very, very low cost of entry. I say if you like Survivor likes, give it a shot. It's very fun. The deck building mechanic is really cool. The ability to place equipment where you want to has a level of strategy to it that I really like. The music, the soundtrack is pretty dope. It does get a little bit old after you play for, a couple hours or whatever, because you just can't put the game down after you start playing. But yeah, it's cool. It's cool. Definitely give it a shot. All right, so we're out to that 15 plus minutes in the game, or in this run. Enemies are getting pretty crazy. A lot of these guys are much faster now. They're really hard to keep at bay. There's a bunch of those large, monstrosities coming after you. They're a lot slower, so they're easier to handle, but yeah, you can kind of see them there. But then there's also these, like layers, or I don't know. They're these giant hives that these enemies have placed down. I'm not sure what their deal is. There's these little egg-like things that sit outside of them. And I don't know if they hatch more enemies or what, but I do remember taking down a couple of these. I don't know if I have the footage of it, but I do remember taking down a couple of these guys, and they give you just a big bunch of experience. But overall, I don't know. I don't know where technically the game goes from here. I don't know if there's some big bad boss at some point or what. But I'm kind of at the point where I want to sit down and dedicate time to building a good deck to experiment with and getting a good build going. But for the most part, that's kind of the gist of the game. I'm curious if anyone's made it past maybe like the 20-minute mark. I think I got up to like 22 to 25 minutes or something like that in the past, but I'm curious to see what you guys think. Have you played it? Are you willing to pick it up for $5? Let me know. But yeah, I do want to thank you guys for stopping on by, checking out the video. Survivor likes. What else would you guys like to see? Yeah, I got a couple on the horizon. I think I'm going to try out that Temtem Swarm game, which is a creature capture game, but they made a Survivor-like version of it. I don't know. Anyways, it looks cool. Looks fun. And, yeah, let me know what you think. This is Buy, Bargain, or Bust. And Star Survivor, to me, is an easy buy at $5. Thanks for watching. Hope you enjoyed. All sorts of loots. I had a blast. Jump on in, check it out. We'll see you guys again in the next episode. Blow!